Hello, the fourth viewer requested game analysis. This is a really good one. You can't miss it. It's basically between the strongest player in this game view analysis is a game between a young up-and-coming star and the international master, the strongest player ever in this game analysis series. So, white is an up-and-coming junior player, and black is an international master, certified. He's really strong. So, this game will be teaching you several factors, the importance of color complexes and how to take advantage of them, and also knowing your in-between intermezzo or switch and zug moves and make sure you don't miss them. So this is a really good educational one that you have to see the end to see the full effect. And this is a game that white was DJ, a young up-and-coming player, and the international master, Nemanja, was black. So let's get started. So knight f3 was what DJ played, knight 6 was response, and this is a different setup. So after b3 wants to go bishop b2 to basically fianchetto and influence the dark squares in the center, and then Nemanja wants to have a king's Indian defense structure, which is bishop g7, d6, e5, castles, things like that. And now bishop b2, bishop e7, these are real things. After e3, d6, you want to go e5 with the help of the d6 pawn. So after this bishop e2 move, he played e5 right away. No wasting time. So d3, castles, knight b2, after rook e8. Then castles kingside happened. So now Nemanja was to try to do this knight b7, and after rook e1 and c6, you have to go for the grabbing the center. So basically this plan to go obviously d5 and actually own the center and combat white's setup. So we have a game here. So now knight f1 to do to g3 is a maneuver. It can be slow, but we'll see what this game comes out to be. So after this one, d5, of course, controlling and owning the center space because he can. Knight g3, and now Nemanja was want to take advantage of this knight maneuver, 2 moves to get there, and h5 was on the board, saying that I want to make sure that the knight looks silly. Maybe eventually h4 comes in, and the knight has to move again, and it's my turn again. So this is something to watch out for white. So white did e4. So this is a really common, good, let's say, advisory thing to do, is that if you get attacked by a flank pawn or a side flank attack, you want to meet with a center attack, a center response at the very least. So because the center is more relevant than a flank pawn or a flank attack. So this is what DJ did in full effect. So he played the wise e4. So d4 was played to lock up the center, but now h4 is saying that no, you're not going to go h4 by yourself, Nemanja. I want to do something besides that to you. So now Nemanja played bishop h6, but the really crucial factor that DJ knew that if I were to trade the bishops off with the bishop c1, he played this one, then I'll have maybe, perhaps, actual targets in the dark squares. The color complexes around the king will be weak. So Nemanja obliged to take the bishop in c1. After queen c1, knight f8. So now queen g5 was played. So he wants to get in there as fast as possible to cause some chaos. Knight from f8 to a7. Queen d2, and now c5, maybe making some more space to black. So Nemanja was going for the space play for sure. Now knight g5, saying that I want to trade your defender and make it easier for you to be dominated on the dark squares. So bishop e7, making sure we can connect the rooks and heavy pieces. This is a way to go and don't have to forfeit the bishop. So now f4, a good move by DJ. He wants to go maybe rook f1 and have a domination of the f file. So now Nemanja, the international master, played taking f4, and after queen takes f4, knight g5, taking g5 with a queen, and probably you're thinking, why are you doing this, international master? You're losing your, let's say, your head. You're just giving him everything he wants. But not so fast. Nemanja has a plan. He wants to do something like b6, bishop c6, and hold the ground, and maybe have some equality and counterattack. And especially one thing he did and deployed later on, he wants to try to trade queens. If he trades the queens, when you're attacked and you're weak, there's like dark squares, you're weak, then you have a chance to come back with a vengeance. So what happened is, After bishop f3 to maybe dominate the left diagonal, and h1 to a8. Then knight a7 was the fourth effect, so that way he proposed to DJ, I want to trade queens. You want to take me off on the arbor? And DJ knew better. He played queen f4. But now, Nemanja played bishop c6 to counteract the bishop on f3, saying that e5 will just trade off, and they'll be happy to trade all of the things. So now, after queen h6, saying that I want to do something with the dark squares, then queen takes h4, lost the pawn. But now, in a counter measure, DJ knew and found this excellent, devastating blow. He played knight takes h5, tagged this pawn, and took it. So now, Nemanja did a big blunder, a losing blunder. The whole game would be just a shambles after queen e5. Both of the players, DJ and Nemanja, the international measure, did not see that he hung a checkmate and won. The game is over. But they both didn't see it. The game went on, and instead, queen takes g5 was played. But what it should have done, for Nemanja's sake, he should have done g takes h5, take the knight off the board. After queen takes the bishop on sideways, this horizontal movement, the knight g5 is welcomed, and this attack is going to be coming in. And this is a really even game, if not, let's say, balanced at the very least. So, let's go back to actual game. After queen g5, we have this game still going on. So let's see who will be the victor here. Who will be the one that makes the most impressions. Now knight to g5, but now DJ found knight to f6 check, a fork between the king and the rook. So Nemanja had to do something with the king, but it can be argued that he played probably the worst reply. He played king g7, which actually means that the knight can be taking the rook with check. So now, after rook takes e8, king f2, rook e5, rook f1, rook e8. So basically you want to swivel, swivel, hoping that DJ messes up somewhere. Sometimes you have to have your opponent help you to get back in the game. So now, after this king g1 move, Nemanja played f6 to solidify things more. Now DJ said rook a e1. He wants to get the last piece in the game. Let's see what happens. So one thing, because you remember he's up material, so he wants to trade pieces. So now Nemanja played another blunder, a very big blunder. He played knight f7. What better was to get this bishop out of the diagonal of the other bishop, saying that I want to keep my pieces intact instead of trading off the bishop. So what happened in the game is knight f7. But this is where Nemanja miscalculated, and DJ used the effect of doing intermezzo's, or you can call it zwischen, or in between moves if you're using the English translation. So he played e5. So after the bishop takes f3, he didn't take back. No, DJ knew better. He took on f6 check. So he can't take the pawn because the rook will be taken at e8. So he took the king back to f8, but now not take the bishop. No. He took the rook and check. After king e8, rook takes f3, and the game was over, and Nemanja resigned, and DJ won and overtook the international master with authority, using the weaknesses of dark squares and knowing the fact that intermezzos were the play of the game. And actually seeing a really spectacular move, knight takes h5, and the game was settled there. And neglecting the fact that he missed a maybe one, but they both did, but they canceled that in that sense. But he was able to still, with dark square weaknesses, able to get the victory and win the game. Before you go, make sure you like the video, and make sure if you have a game you want me to analyze, don't be afraid to comment below a game and seeing who was what side, what names are for each side, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.